Welcome to Timeless Mind by Nicolaus podcast. Each week, we explore powerful ideas from the past to help you think deeper, live clearer, and lead yourself well.
Have you ever found yourself just staring at a decision? Maybe what to tackle next at work, or how to phrase that tricky email, or even bigger things, and you just freeze. That feeling like you're completely stuck, caught, almost terrified of choosing the wrong thing.
It happens all the time, that paralysis.
Yeah, exactly. And we hear this number, right? That the average person makes something like, 35,000 decisions a day, which just sounds exhausting.
It's staggering, isn't it?
It really is. But it's those moments, the ones where even a seemingly simple choice feels impossible, that can really throw us off course. Why does that happen? Why do we seize up like that when what we really need is clarity? But what if getting that clarity, cutting through all the mental noise to figure out the way forward, what if it didn't take hours of agonizing? What if it could happen in just seconds?
That sounds almost too good to be true for most people, I think.
I know, right? But that's what we're digging into in this deep dive. We're looking at how some, really ancient wisdom, specifically from Plato, offers this surprisingly simple method for finding that clarity fast.
Yeah, and it's fascinating stuff.
Definitely. And just so you know, we're drawing inspiration here from content we've been exploring, like the ideas you can find over the YouTube channel, Timeless Mind by Nicolaus.
It really is a bit of a paradox, isn't it? We handle thousands of tiny decisions almost without thinking.
Yeah, autopilot.
Right, but then one looms large, maybe it feels important, and we just stop, we freeze. And Plato, living way back in ancient Greece, he saw this. He really identified this fundamental human struggle.
He didn't just see it, though. He had a way of explaining it.
But he did. He offered this powerful way to understand it, and maybe a path towards feeling less stuck. He wasn't just observing. He was trying to offer a way out of that internal conflict.
And that was his famous metaphor, the chariot.
Exactly, the chariot. So picture your inner self, your soul, as this chariot.
Okay.
But it's not being pulled by some nice, steady horse. No, it's pulled by two powerful kind of wild horses.
Wild ones.
Yeah. One represents desire, that pull towards things, wanting instant gratification, comfort, whatever.
Right.
And the other horse, that's emotion, pulling you based on fear, maybe anger, excitement, whichever feeling is really strong in that moment.
Okay, so desire and emotion pulling like crazy. And who's supposed to be in charge?
Well, the one holding the reins, the charioteer, that's meant to be reason.
Reason.
Precisely. And Plato's whole point really was that the direction your life takes, the quality of it, fundamentally hinges on which part is actually in control. Is it just raw desire dragging you everywhere?
Or emotion jerking the reins based on how you feel second to second.
Exactly. Or is reason, the charioteer, actually steering, using the energy of those horses but guiding them?
And that links straight back to that feeling of being stuck today, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When we delay, when we get paralyzed by a choice, it's like we've just dropped the reins.
Completely. You've let go.
So desire pulls one way, maybe towards avoiding the hard thing, and emotion pulls another, maybe fear keeping you still.
Right. And reason. The part that's supposed to give direction, it's just kind of bouncing around in the back, silent, because we haven't actually given it a chance to speak up, to take control.
We haven't put it in the driver's seat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The internal battle is those horses pulling against each other with no one steering. And this is a really key point highlighted in the source material we're drawing from for this deep dive. Plato's idea of reason isn't about endless, slow deliberation.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's about clarity. It's about reason cutting through the noise if you give it the space to do so. Reason isn't inherently slow. It can be decisive, but only if you actually consciously put it in charge for a moment.
So it's not about needing more facts or more time to weigh pros and cons necessarily. It's more about creating a specific, focused moment where reason can take over from the noise of desire and emotion.
That is the core insight, yes. And this is where the practical application comes in, the method that's sort of derived from this ancient idea for modern use, a way to activate that truth in just a few seconds.
Okay, so it's like a technique.
You could call it that. It's not about some magic number of seconds, but about dedicating just enough focused time to consciously make that shift, to hand the reins over.
Okay, I'm intrigued. How does it actually work? What are the steps?
Well, think of it as 3 really quick intentional actions. First step, just pause. Really pause. Maybe for, say, 3 seconds.
3 seconds. What happens then?
In that pause, you create just enough space to notice, to actually name which wild horse is pulling strongest right now. Is it that desire for comfort, making you want to put off the decision? Is it fear, anxiety, maybe even excitement that's clouding things? Just name it. Acknowledge the pull.
Okay, so step 1, pause and name me pull. Got it. What's next?
Step 2, take maybe 6 seconds, a slightly longer moment. And in this moment, you actively engage reason. Ask yourself this specific question. What would the rational part of me choose right now if it wasn't being influenced by fear or desire?
What would the rational part choose if it wasn't afraid?
Exactly. It's not about ignoring your feelings, but about consciously adopting the charioteer's perspective for just that moment. What does the part of you that wants balance, that thinks long-term, actually see as the best path forward?
Okay, so pause and name the pull. Then reflect for a few seconds on what reason would do. And the third step.
Third step, and this is quick, maybe another 3 seconds. Decide. Based on that flicker of rational insight you just accessed, make the call, give reason the reins, commit to that path, and start moving.
Decide and move. Wow.
Trust that brief moment of clarity you just intentionally created.
It sounds, well, almost too simple, doesn't it? We're so conditioned to believe that big decisions need hours, days, maybe weeks of complex analysis.
And often, that extended time is just the horses running rampant, pulling you in circles.
Right, indecision loops.
Exactly. The whole point, drawing from Plato as interpreted in material like you find on Timeless Mind, is that your capacity for rational guidance, your inner charioteer, is already there. It's not something you need to build from scratch.
It just needs to be activated.
Yes. You just need to consciously engage it, even for these few seconds, to stop those wild forces from simply dragging you around. Most people feel stuck not because they lack intelligence or options, but because they haven't practiced putting reason in charge at that critical moment of choice.
That's a really powerful shift in perspective. So the next time you feel that resistance, that paralysis starting to creep in when you face a choice, big or small, remember the chariot.
Remember the chariot and remember those simple steps. Pause just long enough to see what desire or emotion is pulling you. Reflect just for a few seconds, asking what reason the clear-eyed charioteer would choose. And then decide, take the reins from that place of clarity and move.
It comes back to that idea.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need more time. You need that focused moment of clarity.
Precisely.
So maybe think about this. What's one decision, maybe something you've been putting off this week, where you can actually try this? Just give it a go.
Yeah, applying this kind of ancient wisdom, like Plato's ideas, to navigate the complexities of modern life. That's really what we're exploring here, drawing on these insightful interpretations from sources like the YouTube channel Timeless Mind by Nikolaos. It's about making these profound ideas practical.
Absolutely. And stay tuned, because in a future deep dive, we're planning to explore another fascinating angle on this, looking into Socrates' unique approach to finding inner clarity. So more ancient wisdom for modern minds coming up.
Thanks for reflecting with us here at Timeless Mind. Ancient wisdom for modern clarity. If today's idea sparked something in you, share it, live it, and pass it on. See you in the next episode.